So another catch-up. So far, so good this week.
Yes, it's been a very good week, and obviously we're pleased with the two results. But there's a lot of hard work to do, and nobody's getting carried away, especially me. We've got a tough season ahead, a lot of tough games, but we've made a good start this week.
And you brought some confidence into the players out on the pitch. Obviously, you can see that because we talked about it. Confidence. If you get a result or two, you can get some confidence in.
Well, it doesn't matter what club you're at. If you're not winning games, then confidence dips, and you need to get a result to turn that confidence around. But we've all been in football long enough to know football confidence comes and goes, and it can turn by somebody doing something good in a game, getting a little bit of luck, getting a goal. There's lots of ways that confidence can turn. I think we've just got to continue working hard, trying to do the right things, and if we get to 11 players on the pitch every game who are willing to work hard, then we can get results which hopefully can help us climb the table.
You maintain straight away that the first team is the main priority. Results have got to come, and you've got them coming. Fingers crossed they're going to continue. But you've also had a couple of reserve games as well. And we spoke about that, how big a squad of players that you have to work with. But you're getting a response from those lads as well. So that must be also pleasing.
I'm happy with the response I've had from the players. I feel that there's a lot of, in terms of their attitude, a lot of genuine lads who want to do well. You can't ask for anything more than players trying hard and having a good attitude. If we're not good enough, or if players are not good enough, then that's a different matter. But if they're willing to work hard and do the best that they can to the best of their ability, that's all you can ask. And at the moment we've got players who are not playing, experienced players who are not playing, who've played in the reserves and who've done what I've expected, and we need to keep those players fit. So we'll be trying to add games, friendly games, to those reserve games, and try and get the players match fit as best we can. Because it's all right training and doing some running, but you need to be match fit. So we're probably trying to increase the number of games that they're playing at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to pick up on that because we did actually briefly speak about it and let the reserve team get that game out of the way. Let's talk a little bit more about that. What, in terms of what you're looking at, real competitive games that you can arrange for them lads?
Yeah, we've arranged a game on Monday against Blackpool, which is not in our fixtures, but there are other teams that will want games who don't feel that they don't play enough reserve football, and I think it's important because of the number of players. You could actually have a situation where you play a first team game, then you play a reserve team game, and there's still players not getting 90 minutes. So we have to look at that. You obviously have to focus on the first team, but you've got a responsibility to try and not alienate other players at the club as well. So we'll be trying to get games for them so that everybody's got a competitive game, so we can obviously assess everyone. You've
come back in now after a midweek game, your first one in midweek, so you've done a Saturday and a Tuesday, and you've had a little chance to gauge fitness-wise as well. How what type of shape they're in? How are they looking?
Well, you can only judge in the games. I felt the Tuesday night's game, if we look at it over how we finished the game, I thought we certainly, fitness wasn't a problem in that game because we did better in the second half. And at the end of the game we're still covering a lot of ground, so it certainly wasn't a problem in that game. But you'll find that if you increase in confidence, you'll increase in fitness as well. A lot of football's played between your 2 ears, and it's psychological on a lot of occasions. And if you're doing better in terms of results, then everything else comes with that. But the tough game on Saturday where they were under pressure, not winning a home game, and then physically it was a test on Tuesday night because I thought Morecambe were strong physically, and they certainly put in a shift and made it really difficult, especially in that first half. So they had to respond to that. So I wouldn't question their fitness at the moment. I think it's easy to come into any job and start saying the players are not fit. Everybody tends to do that, but I haven't said that. I've just said that every team you can get fitter. You can always get a bit fitter, but that's not saying that the fitness is an issue.
And getting that belief and the confidence in the players is a big strength that you're trying to use from your managerial career and your coaches as well, and hopefully it's working.
All I can say is we try and do our jobs properly. I try and do my job to the best of my ability, and my staff try and do the same. And we prepare properly for the games, and that's what we continue to do. But you're never going to please everyone, and you can play some games where it doesn't look like you've prepared properly by the nature of what happens in the game. But I can assure you that every game, there's always a lot of thought goes into it, and we'll always prepare as best that we can. And because that's our job, to prepare properly. But it doesn't always get reflected in results. But you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, well, I've done all I can to try and get that result today. And like I say, that's the only yardstick you can go by. You've done your best, you've prepared properly. And then sometimes it's out of your hands. You can get a bit of bad luck, or a refereeing decision go against you, and it can throw all your preparation out the window. So we will prepare properly for the games. But like I've said, you can't legislate for what's going to happen sometimes in the 90 minutes.
Well, the next one is a long trip down to Exeter, so that is important that the lads are sort of mentally right, rested right, and ready to go.
Well, obviously, managing at Gateshead in the National League, it's a short trip to what we've had, what I'm used to. I mean, we had 14 overnight stops at Gateshead, so we were always seem to be travelling. So, you're going to get a few times where you have a long trip, but I'm not going to make excuses about. It's up to the players to be professional, and as I say, we will train tomorrow before we leave, and it's a tough game anyway, no matter where it is. They're all tough games in this league against a team that's up at the top, and it will be a testing game on Saturday.
And he's certainly stood the test of time, hasn't he, Paul Tisdale? No doubt about that.
No, I mean, we've come up this week against probably the two longest serving managers, with Morecambe and Exeter. Both doing really good jobs. It's obviously difficult to stay in any job. It's difficult nowadays to stay for a length of time. And we had a good chat with their management staff after the game at Morecambe. Done a great job there, and continues to do a really good job. And the same with Exeter. They've had stability in terms of their management, and now I feel they're getting the rewards for that.
Don't like to select individuals. Just a word on James Gibbons, how he's progressing, and what you've seen from him. One of the real youngsters that every football club likes to see, somebody coming through their academy.
It's great for the club to get any players through who've come through the academy. I think it's always good for supporters as well to see local lads in the team. But I must be honest, I don't look at him as a young lad. I just look at him as a player. To me, he's a player who deserves to be playing, and I'm happy with him. Love his attitude and his work rate. But we're in a good situation with him, in that he's only going to get better. The more he plays, he's going to get better. And if players are good enough, I'm not really bothered about what age they are. I'm just looking at them as players, and can they do a job? So certainly with James, he has been thrown in the deep end a bit this year, but tough game from the other night, and he came through it really well. We've just got to try and help him as much as we can, so that he has a really good career.
And the man who's certainly hit the ground running since you've come in is Tom Pope. The way that you set your team up to try and get the best out of him. Well,
again, he's somebody that I was aware of when I came to the club, but hadn't worked with him before. And since I've got here, you couldn't ask for more. He's led the line really well. He's competed in the air. He's made himself available to feet, and obviously he scored goals. So you can't ask for any more from a centre forward. just hope we can continue.